Get started in a couple of minutes, you guys. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having a great day. God is good, right? He is very good. Every day you wake up, you got to thank him for waking you up. You got to thank him for opening up your eyes always and forever. Now, one thing you need to know about me, I share messages and encourage people because of the things that I've been through. I've been through live things. I have experienced the things that I put out. So this is just not me speaking just because it's a trend. This is not me speaking because I want to get up here and speak. I literally went through very traumatic events in my life. If you check out my main page, all of my information is up there. Like I said, please go to my bio and look at my other two pages. The other page, which says main page, that's the main page. You'll scroll and just get to know me a little bit of my story, okay? But what's up, everybody? Let's get into it. The afflictions of your enemies. The afflictions of your enemies. First, I want to tell you, you're doing great. You're doing amazing. I want to let you know that you are doing amazing. Do not let anybody make you feel like you're not doing well. One thing about a hater, one thing about your enemies, one thing about the afflictions, not even enemies, life. Life will make you feel like you are on the wrong track. Life will make you feel like you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Life will make you feel like, man, if I go backwards, I'll be okay. If I go backwards, I'll be more comfortable because this right here is uncomfortable. What I'm going through is uncomfortable. Also, the enemy wants you to think that. We have an enemy, we have an adversary, we have enemies, we have haters, we have people who don't like us, people who make us think that we're not on the right track. How do people make you think that you're not on the right track? Maybe you just bought a house. Maybe you just got a new car. Maybe you have come from poverty and you're just now building your life. You're just now building your life. How are people acting like you are just on the wrong track, right? Isn't it sad when you are on the right track? You're doing everything right. And isn't it sad how people think you are the villain because you're living your life? I mean, you become the villain when you grow. You become the villain when you elevate. You become the villain when you take your power back. You become the villain when you stop doing what you used to do. You become the villain when you're not depressed anymore. You become the villain when you're not broken anymore. You become the villain when you're out here just living your life. You're making your life better. You're not like who you used to be. Right? You're not out here on the streets. You're not doing what you used to do. You have moved forward. You have glowed up. Like you have gone through a transformation process. People don't like that. People do not like that. You lose people when you grow. That's why when it says it's lonely at the top, it's literally lonely at the top. I've been through that. And what's sad is we don't go through that with neighbors. We go through that with family. We go through that with our own blood. We go through that with people who are close to us. We go through that with people who we never thought that was going to betray us. So why is it that when we start growing, we start losing people? People start being mean to us. People start acting like we're evil because we grew. But when I was in my broken place, I was okay. When I was doing what I wasn't supposed to be doing, you were my friend. You were close to me. You loved me. People love you only when you're broken. Most of the time, people only stay close to you because you are broken. Misery loves company. People only stay connected to you because you was not a threat. As sad as it may seem, people only stay connected to you because you was not a threat. Once you start growing, once you start living in your power, once you start elevating, once you start getting to know yourself, once you start doing that transformation process, not only that, once you start following God and just, being in touch with your spiritual side, drinking more water, exercising, right? Just doing anything. One thing about haters, you can do something simple and they won't like it. One thing about a hater, you don't even have to do too much. You're not even rich. You don't even have a lot of money, but you got haters that have more than you. The afflictions of your enemies, y'all, will make you feel like you are off track. The afflictions of your enemies. You may ask, how do my enemies afflict me? How do my enemies afflict me? They will make you think that you're off track. They really would. They will make you think, I'm just jotting this down for myself, that you are off track. How do they do that? They start talking about you, gossiping, slandering, right? Slandering. You hear a rumor about you that is not true. You hear accusations about you and you're like, wait a minute. Maybe I'm just putting this out there. For example, you used to strip. I don't even strip no more. I'm in nursing school. I'm going to school to be a doctor. Why am I getting false accusations? Why is let's do blood? Why is my cousin talking about me? She wasn't talking about me when I was broken, when she used to come to my house and I didn't have that much, or my house used to stay dirty. But now she acts like she hates me. I'm doing great for myself. And what's even sad, when your enemies start afflicting you, they set you down for a therapy session. How many of you have been sat down as a therapy session with your family, or they tried to do a what you call it? It's at the tip of my tongue. They try to do an intervention, okay? And they told you need to get your life together. You're slipping, you're slacking, and when you do, it's a problem. When you do get your life together, everybody just go ghost, or everybody got something to say. And you're like, dang, y'all just sat me down and had a whole therapy session. Y'all just told me that I was slacking. Y'all told me to get myself together. You know what's the reason? They didn't expect for you to do it like this. They didn't expect for you to be better than they thought. See, people want you to do good, but when it seems like you're doing better than them, you're not even trying to do better than them. That's the thing. You're not trying to be in competition with nobody. But when people look back and look at you and say, oh, she's trying to be better than me, he's trying to be better than me, you're not even trying to do that. See, the truth is, people never expected you to go this far. You exceeded their expectations. You went beyond their expectations. Some people who know your story, some people who know your trauma, some people who have followed you when you was in the trenches, they did not expect for you to go as far as you went. You're not even that far, though. That's the thing. I keep saying that because it's so confusing when people afflict you and you're not even at your peak yet. You're not even at your peak yet, right? Maybe you don't have a passport. You have a little 1-bedroom apartment, and you got people afflicting you who are in like 4-bedroom houses, who are in a house, and you got people afflicting you. You know why? It's not because of what you have. It's because of your strength. People get jealous of your strength. They get jealous because they can't control you. They get jealous because every time they afflict you, you just roam past them. This is the afflictions of your enemy. So number one, they will make you think that you're off track. So when you start getting false accusations, when you start hearing slander about you, when you start hearing rumors about you, you have to learn how to ignore it. You have to learn how to say, look, that's not me. But it's hard, though, because why? Sometimes it comes from your family. It's not going to come from a neighbor. It's not going to come from your coworker. It's not going to come from your supervisor. It's going to come from the people that is close to you, right? And that's what the enemy does. He'll use somebody that is very close to you to make you think that you're not doing good, to make you think that you're off track, when all along you were right on track. Like, you're right on track. You're doing everything right. You may not be perfect, but you're right on track. And I just wanted to remind some of you of that. You are on track. Don't let the afflictions of your enemies, don't let life beat you down to the point where you start thinking about going back to your past. You start thinking about going backwards. You start thinking about, man, I think I'm going to just go on and go back to where I was, because, oh my God, if I go higher, if I do better, oh my God, it's so sick that some people will make you think you have to shrink. You have to shrink for people to like you. You have to shrink so you won't get afflicted. And those are the afflictions of your enemies. They want you to shrink so bad so they can afflict you, because they feel like if you grow higher, if you elevate, we're going to afflict you even more. We're going to talk about you even more. We're going to break your heart even more. So I don't want you to make it. So what I'm going to do is continue to break your heart, to break you so down that you don't even want to grow anymore. Like, people have an obsession with humbling you. People have an obsession with sitting you down. People have an obsession of looking at you and saying, look, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? I got to sit you down. I got to sit you down. I got to humble you. I got to make sure you know where you came from. If you ever know somebody, if you ever be around somebody who always say, oh, they done moved to North Carolina and they think they all that, you got to watch people who say that about people. You have to. Some people who say that, they got like a jealous streak in them. They don't want people to make it. The afflictions of your enemies, y'all, they will make you think that you are off track. All along, you are right on track. You're doing everything right. You're doing everything right. You're doing everything right. Number 2, right? The afflictions of your enemies, they afflict you thinking that you're going to run back to them. How can somebody hurt you so bad? How can an ex or maybe your ex-husband or somebody hurt you so bad that they have in their mind that you need to go back to them? So they hurt you so bad so you won't have anybody. And let me tell you the tricks of the enemy, because we're not dealing with people, y'all. We're dealing with spirits. Ephesians 6:12, that's one of my favorite scriptures, because you got to understand when you go through something like this, when you go through afflictions after affliction after affliction, you have to understand that is the enemy using these people to come against you. Remember, he does not use people that you don't know. He uses people that is very close to you. So, number 2, they break you down so bad so you can end up back in their hands. So you can end up right back with them. Yeah. So if you have an ex that for example, an ex that maybe you got a divorce. OK, maybe you're going through a custody battle, or you got a divorce. You were married. All right. You guys already went through the divorce process. The divorce process took so long. They continue to take you to court for custody battles. I mean, it's hurting you. You're losing your job. You get what I'm saying? So that ex is afflicting you so you can run back to him. He does not care about what's going on with the family. Right? Some people want to break you down so bad so you won't have no one. So you won't have no one. The afflictions of your enemies, y'all. When your enemies break you down so bad, break your heart, talk about you, knowing that it's going to tamper with you, they want you to run back to them. Good morning, you guys. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me. Say yes in the comments. Good morning, y'all. Say yes in the comments if you can hear me. Say next. Say yes, you can hear me. Okay, great. The afflictions of your enemy. Some people want to hurt you so bad so you end up back with them. Isn't that sad? Happy Wednesday. Good vibes only. Yes. Isn't that sad? How can you hurt me so bad? Like I said, for example, this can be an ex that you have already got a divorce from, or the relationship ended. Maybe you don't have children, right? Or maybe that ex continues to talk about you. Maybe that ex continues to, so simple. Let's keep it simple. Maybe you guys share an Apple account. You both had iPhones. You share an Apple account. I don't know. He turns the subscriptions off. I don't know. He's doing something to hurt you so you can land back in his arms or her arms. Like this is not gender related. This is both genders. People are sad. So number 2, they will break you down so bad so you can go back to them. For another example, family dynamics. When you leave a narcissistic family, right? They will break you down so bad so you can end up at your broken place. This is all the afflictions of your enemies, but it actually comes from a source, which is the enemy, using them because they never wanted you to prosper. You know how when people say, I'm the black sheep, I'm the chosen one in the family, you got to be careful saying those type of words, because what it really means to be chosen, what it really means to be the black sheep is somebody who goes through a tremendous amount of trauma, a tremendous amount. People got to be careful when they saying that. I can't stand when people say, I'm chosen, and they don't know what it means to really be chosen. Like when you're chosen, you are not of this world. Your family is not going to like you that well, right? It's not that they don't like you, but you're going to be misunderstood. Right? You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be different. You're going to be unique. You're not going to fit in nowhere. Right? So they want to break you down because now you have learned who you are. Now you have grown into your identity. Now you know who you are, right? And they never wanted you to know who you are. This can be in family dynamics. This can be an ex. This can be an old coworker, an old opportunity, anything that was in your past trying to break you down so bad just so you can end up back with them. Because how do you end up back with them? You know, slowly but surely you'll end up back with them, right? You get lonely. You get those lonely nights. They feel like you don't have that much support. You're not going to have that much support. You're not going to have that many people rooting for you. So what you do, maybe I should go back to my ex. Maybe I should go back to my family. Maybe I should go back to my hometown. You got to be strong in this thing. And I know some people feel like, why do I have to be strong? I'm the victim. I was hurt. I am getting hurt. You know, that's why I wrote, you know, let me pause for a second. I'm a big advocate on co-parenting. I don't talk a lot about co-parenting on this page. I do it on my YouTube, but I think I'm going to add my little messages for co-parenting. I have a co-parenting ebook. It's a power guide for single mothers and single fathers. When you're going through narcissistic custody battles, I wrote that ebook from the heart. Like I said, any message that I put out, it is from live experiences. And that book I wrote from live experiences and testimonies that God is real when you are fighting with the narcissist, going through custody battles, single mother or single father. You're going through that. All right. So I wrote that co-parenting power guide. If you need it, my links are not on my page yet because this is a new page. If you need it, just direct message me and say, I need that co-parenting book. Okay. It is on sale right now. But I had to pause, even in co-parenting, you know, people taking you to court over and over again. It is only for control. It is only to land you back with them, right? Because they feel like, how dare you leave me? How dare you move on? How dare you, you know, they can just say whatever. How dare you? You know, so your enemies have like this, how dare you? How dare you? You're supposed to be broken. You're not supposed to be moving on like you're doing. You see, you exceeded beyond their expectations. You have to understand that. So you can't get upset when people start leaving you, when people start switching up, when people start talking about you and you're like, why is my cousin Susan talking about me? She never talked about me before. Because you're growing. You're growing. I never heard the truth kept so real. Let me tell you something. Oh my God. Like I said before, you guys, for my new people, this is my page that I'm using right now. When you go to my page and the bio, my main page, all of, you know, I'm really deep. And I don't care because this is something that I've been through, you know. So number one was they will make you think that you are off track when you're actually on track. Okay, let me add when you are on track. Okay. Hopefully you're jotting down notes. If not, I will definitely put this for free on my website. Anything that I write down, I do like an outline on my website, and it's free. It's just a downloadable file you can download. Number 2, they break you down. They break you down so bad that you end up back with them. So bad so you can end up back with them. One person I love in the Bible, I wanted to read a scripture from Nehemiah, but one person I love in the Bible is Joseph. You know, Joseph, we all know his story. And Joseph had strength, very, very much strength, you know, because for him to be back in prison after his brothers did that to him, right? For him to do that, and then Potiphar's wife lying on him for no reason. That's what it feels like, for no reason. Because Joseph was he was favored. Some people get upset with you because you're favored. You know, you have females who do it. If you're a man, you have women who do it. You know, if you're a female, you have men who do it. Will lie on you, right? They will lie on you. So I think about Joseph in the Bible, and it helps me. Bible stories, they will help you going through things like this because God is real. I'm a living witness of that. So Potiphar's wife lying on him, and he ended back in jail. You know what I'm saying? And I know he was like, what in the world? But he was strong. You know, the Bible people, they strong. I don't think I could do it. I would just be like, I give up. I'm tired. Right? But he was strong. He stayed put because he knew his truth. He knew his truth. He knew his truth. And that's what, and I believe the enemy was using Potiphar's wife to afflict Joseph. You know, Joseph could have said, man, you know what? I'm just going to run back to, I don't know what to do. I'm going to give up. He still used his gifts. Remember, he interpreted the dreams. He still used his gifts. He could have said, look, leave me alone. The chief butler and the other guy did not ask him to interpret his dreams, but Joseph had that much strength. Come on, he had that much strength, and he said, look, I can do it. You know, don't forget about who you are, y'all. Don't forget about who you are. The afflictions of your enemies will make you forget about who you are. Joseph did not forget about who he was. When the chief butler and, quote me, I forgot the other name. I'm sorry, y'all. The other guy was talking about their dreams. Joseph volunteered and say, look, I can do it. He wasn't thinking about, man, Potiphar's wife put me in here. I'm not interpreting no dreams. My gifts are gone. I'm done. I'm just going to lay here and die. He didn't do that. He volunteered and he remembered who he was. Come on. I want you to remember who you are. You know, don't let the afflictions of the enemies make you forget about who you are. They want you to do that. The false accusations, custody battles, you know, lying, you know, anything that they're doing, they want you to not remember who you are. Joseph got up, said, I can do it. I can interpret a dream. All he said was, remember me. Now I'm doing this. Look, dog, I want you to remember me. Don't forget. I just interpreted your dream. Don't forget what I just did. Just look out for me. You know, look out for a brother. Remember me. They almost forgot about him until one of them remembered him. Now he done, look, ruler of the palace. Come on, y'all. Come on. I know it's hard. I know it's traumatic. You don't even know. You are listening to somebody who has been through and still going through something that is very traumatic. But I'm stronger and I know what it is. When you know what it is, that's when you can change your mindset and you can be like, it's deep. This is something spiritual. This is not something in the natural. This is the enemy trying to stop me from my generational wealth that I want to build. You know, you gotta think outside of the box. This is not natural. So number 2 was they break you down so bad so you can end up back with them, and you're not going to be back with them. You know, Joseph he could have said, man, I'm going to just do my time in jail. And you know what? I'm going to just run on to my father, tell him I'm still alive, and I'm going to just look. And no, you can't forget about who you are. So that's what they do. That's what they do, right? Number 3, the afflictions of your enemies. One of the things that they do to afflict you, they do a smear campaign. They will create a smear campaign. They create a smear campaign. If you don't know what a smear campaign is when your enemies, right, or that one enemy, okay, your enemies will gang up a group of people to go against you. They will gang up a group, a clique to go against you. A perfect example, if you're working in a workplace. I've been through that. When you're working in a workplace, right? And, you know, you got this one person who don't like you, or you got this one person that lied on you to the boss, and they create this whole clique to go against you. You know, they create this whole group to go against you, right? And they're telling lies to all of these people because they feel like in their minds, if I get you to that place that nobody likes you, you are going to stop growing. If I get you to that place that nobody likes you, oh yeah, you'll definitely stop growing. Your light will definitely be dimmed. You definitely won't make it. So let me grab this person. Let me grab this person. Let me grab this person. Let me form my group. They do a smear campaign. Let me form my groups. Let me do this. And in your head, it's going to hurt you because you're going to be like, dang, oh my God, that was my best friend. You know, you will go through betrayal. Let me tell you something, though. Anybody who believes a fake lie about you and they knew you for years and they quickly believe a fake lie about you, they never liked you from the beginning. You thought they did. You thought that you guys were two peas in a pot. You thought, that you guys was peanut butter and jelly. But if anybody can believe a lie about you so quickly, sometimes this happens with people who know you but really don't know you. But sometimes it can happen when people that are close to you. And you'll be like, what did that betrayal come from? Remember I said a long time ago, I think it was last year, right? When I was speaking, and I said, it doesn't matter how much history you have with somebody. When somebody turns on you, you got to realize something. When you start growing for real, that's just if you have a best friend and you guys, you've been best friends for a long time and you start growing, you start elevating. Like I said, you're not trying to be better than this best friend. You're just trying to live your life more better. You're trying to make your life better, right? And your best friend has betrayed you, or she or he listened to a lie about you so quickly. Why? Because that best friend already has some jealousy within you. You just didn't know. So sometimes you will get betrayed during the smear campaign. You will get betrayed during when they're forming the smear campaign. That's all to make you lonely. That's all to make you feel like nobody believes me. And once you get to that point, when you say nobody believes me, you start going to another point. You start saying, well, nobody loves me. Come on. Nobody understands me. Once you get in your spirit, nobody. Come on. I never needed nobody. That's a Janae Aiko song that I love, but it's kind of like a depressing song a little bit. I never needed nobody, right? But once you start doing that, once you start saying that to yourself, you get in your spirit. Anything that you keep saying, it's just like music, right? Anything that you keep listening to, that you keep saying, right? It's going to get in your spirit and you're going to be like, dang, I don't have nobody. And that's one of the things that your enemies do. The smear campaign, the humiliation ritual. The humiliation ritual is part of the smear campaign. When they grab a lot of group of people to humiliate you, to embarrass you, right? To make you seem crazy. This is all a tactic to make you go back. Now, these 3 points, the first point, they will make you think that you are off track when you're actually on track. They break you down so bad so you can end up back with them. Number 3, they create a smear campaign / humiliation ritual. This is all to get you in your spirit that maybe I should go back to my past. Maybe I should just go ahead and, do what I used to do. Maybe I should go ahead and pick up some. I can't say it on TikTok, right? I'm not judging anybody, but if you know, maybe I should just pick up some grass again. Maybe I should just, drink some orange juice again. You know what I mean, right? Because TikTok has the little rules. Maybe I should just go back to doing that because nobody loves me. All of these, the afflictions of your enemies, they want you to get to that point. It's a step. Let me say it, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's a step-by-step, slowly but surely destroying you. In their mind, and the enemies that's under our feet, right? Your adversary, step by step, they want to slowly but surely break you down. And one day, you're going to be so comfortable. Nothing's going to be happening for you. What you was about to do did not happen. What you were about to write that book, it didn't happen. And you're looking around, you're like, oh my God, where am I? What happened? Where did this start? Where did this start? This started from my cousin Susan. She talked about me, and then she invited me to her house, and she apologized, and she poured me some orange juice. I can't say what I want to say. She poured me some orange juice, and then we started picking up some grass, and then, you see, it's slowly but surely. Y'all, I'm just the messenger, and I lived through it. Slowly but surely, you are back at that broken place. You got to catch yourself. You got to catch yourself. You got to catch yourself. You're not perfect. But anytime you think that, man, I want to go back to that old person I was. I want to go out. Okay, like mothers. You know, I have 2 children, right? My second baby, I had her in Queens, New York, all by myself. I went through a very traumatic situation. I had to go into labor by myself and everything. God was with me. But they're older now. They're 2 and 3 now, right? They're babies. And mothers, we go through that when we have a baby. I think it takes about a year or two. That's when we like 2 years. That's when we're really getting back to ourselves. So she's 2 now, my baby Faith. That's when we're really getting back to ourselves. That's when we start healing. We start saying, "Ooh, I want to go out. I lost some weight." Mothers, we do this when we have a baby. We want to do things. It's just like that. It's just like that. We want to do what we used to do, but you gotta be careful and catch yourself, because you are on a peak of a breakthrough. You are on a peak of elevation. You are on a peak of a growth spurt. Come on. I don't know why I'm hearing that in the spirit, but a growth spurt right now. And the growth spurt don't feel good. You will be uncomfortable. You will get afflicted. You're going to go through a humiliation rituals. Once you go through a humiliation ritual, not only once, but twice, oh, you the GOAT. You're the GOAT. You got to understand you're powerful. For somebody to form a group of people to humiliate you and embarrass you, you got to understand you're doing perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you're doing great, right? That means that you have become a total threat to society. You have become a total threat to your family dynamics. You have become a total threat to the people who used to know the broken you. People can't get over the changed you. They can't get over the you that has took their power back. They can't get over that. They can't, because they feel like, who is she? Where did she come from? Who does she think she are? People don't understand a transformation had to happen. And the same people who afflicted you and who formed this group to afflict you, right? The same people who did this didn't understand this has led you to your transformation. This has led you to change, right? This has led you to change. This has led you to change. This has led you to your transformation. They don't understand that, because they thought that they thought that you wouldn't survive what they did to you. Your ex didn't think that you would survive by, them cheating on you, or them choosing somebody else to marry, or, them, I don't know. It could be anything, an opportunity, firing you, your old job, firing you. They didn't think that you would come back after that. They didn't think you were going to survive. So they have to afflict you. So number 3 was they create a smear campaign, humiliation ritual. That's what it's called. It's like a ritual. They be like, let's form a group together. Let's humiliate this person. Let's embarrass this person. In the neighborhood, if you live on the block, I live in Brooklyn, for example. If I got one neighbor who don't like me, they're going to tell the whole block that something's wrong with me. The whole block not going to like me, right? Now I'm like, oh my God, nobody likes me. Nobody understands me. I'm lonely. All of that is the affliction of your enemies. Number 4, right? I'm going to go through, I think, about 5 points. Number 4, the affliction of your enemies. The affliction of your enemies. Number 4, right? Number 4, they go to high lengths. They go to high lengths to afflict you. Now, they already been through the little smear campaign, humiliation ritual, okay? They already tried to break you down so you can end up back with them. They already making you think that you are off track when you're actually on track. But number 4, they go to high lengths to afflict you. When somebody is used to controlling you, when somebody is used to benefiting off of your pain, off of your struggle, off of your poverty, when somebody is used to just afflicting you, they're just you. Like I said, this can be in a relationship. This can be you grew up in a narcissistic family. You were the one who was always afflicted. This can be that. So they go to high lengths, and they're like, you know what? If they can get over how they afflicted them, how I afflicted them, let me go to high lengths. Let me do authorities, right? Let me do authorities, or let me call the authorities. Let me get the police involved. Let me get the courts involved. Or not even that. Let me go to high lengths. Let me do something that will really, really hurt them. Let me do something that will really, really break them down. Doesn't it sound evil, right? Because that's your adversary using them, right? Your adversary is the enemy using them. So they go to high lengths to afflict you. But that does not mean the higher you go, the higher they go. The higher you go, the higher your enemies go in afflicting you. Yes, I know it's sad. It is. And it's scary. It can be scary. It can be like, oh my God, what are they up to next? Are they plotting on me today? Is somebody going to get me today? What's going to happen to me? You get all this fear inside of you, but it's fake fear. It's fake fear. It's only to put fear in you so you can stop growing. It's only to put fear in you. That's just like if you just posted, your post just went viral. You wrote a book. Everybody's buying your book. You got this one person that don't like you. For example, it can be your sister, your blood. The reason why I'm sticking with blood, because y'all, this does not happen with people we don't know. When your enemies afflict you, it's always somebody close. That's the plan of the enemy. If he can get somebody close to you to break you down so bad, that's his plan. So your sister, you just made a post, you wrote a book. Your sister going around telling people you didn't even write that book. You didn't even write that book. You made up a story. She just lying. I'm like, oh my God, we grew up together. We got the same blood. We got the same mom, same dad. What's going on? I would expect this from a friend. I would expect this from a coworker. They go to high lengths. Now, this is just for example. So the same sister that is going around lying, telling people you didn't really write that book. Your post went viral. She got jealous because you're getting attention. Now, you take it way back. It shouldn't shock you, because when you guys grew up together, she was always the jealous sister. You get what I'm saying? You got to go way back. Sometimes you got to look at the afflictions of your enemies, especially when it's somebody close. You have to go way back in time. Why are they doing this? What stirred them to do this? Because it helps you understand why they're doing this. So she going around telling people you lied. You really didn't write the book. You're just lying. You paid somebody to write it, and you think you're all of that. You moved to Houston, so you think you're Beyonce. She's just saying all this stuff about you, right? And not only that, she ends up, like I said, they go to high lengths to afflict you, right? She ends up reaching out to the publisher, reaching out to a publisher, editor, whatever. She ended up going to high lengths, reaching out to the editor who helped write your book and stuff, telling him lies or her lies. You get what I'm saying? They go to high lengths. So that wasn't enough for her to tell everybody you lied about writing the book. Now she's paying somebody to say, she lied, what did she tell you, or she take you to court for defamation of character when her name wasn't even in the book, right? You get what I'm saying? They go to high lengths. When they know that you are so strong, when they know that nothing can break you down, that's when they go to authorities. That's when they be like, you know what? Even you have some people who even been through so much jealousy that people try to sue them off of jealousy. I had a woman, a mentor that mentored me, and somebody tried to sue her just because she left this relationship. She's taking care of her kids. She's not worrying about her ex. And they tried to sue her because she's doing great. I think she just bought a building or something. She bought a building or whatever. Come on. And they tried to sue her for her money. People will go to high lengths. And it's so sad because when somebody has a controlling spirit, you can't put nothing past them. That's why a hater, or when you got somebody that's envious around you, you got to check that. You got to cut them off ASAP, because you don't know what somebody is plotting on you. You don't know what somebody is doing. People will go to high lengths. You know how we see them Lifetime movies? I was just watching a Lifetime movie yesterday. I don't watch a lot of Lifetime movies I used to, but this one stuck out to me, right? I was watching, it's called The Stolen Baby or something. And this woman, it was her best friend, y'all. Her best friend, they grew up in elementary school. Unalived her, took her baby. First of all, she acted like she was pregnant the whole time. Took her baby, unalived her, left her in the car, right? So, oh my God. Oh my God. And they end up finding out who did it, but nobody suspected her. Come on. Nobody suspected her best friend doing that. Not even the police, not even the family. Like, they suspected her way later in the movie. You get what I'm saying? See, your enemies do this. And the close ones to you, like your sister, you wrote the book. This is, for example, I'm giving you an analogy. She lied telling people you wrote the book. You know, people won't expect that it was her. And she did it anonymously, right? She did it anonymously. She reached out to the publisher, to the editor. She didn't want nobody to know she was doing it, right? But you don't know who's doing it. You think it's somebody just on Facebook somewhere, on YouTube. You don't know it's your sister. See, people do this because they do this because they think nobody will suspect them. Come on, just like that movie I watched. She stole her baby, unalived her. That was her best friend. Nobody would suspect her doing that until later on. Come on, they go to high lengths to afflict you. That's why jealous people is dangerous. A jealous person is very dangerous, especially a person that knew your life, a person that knew, right? That knew where you came from, a person that know your story, a person that knows your in and outs, a person that knows what you've been through. And how dare you move on and elevate and glow up and lose weight and get your little 1-bedroom apartment and file for divorce. How dare you do that to me? So let me afflict you. Yeah, you are talking about, wow, my husband's sister. Wow. That's what they do. They go to high lengths to afflict you. They go to high lengths. They don't care. You got some jealous people. They're jealous. They're not going to do that much. They're going to be like, okay, I don't like them, but, I don't want to do that much. Some people do so much to afflict you. And these are people that was once controlling you. You didn't know that they were controlling you that much. Or, psycho. You didn't know that something was definitely mentally wrong with them. You didn't know this. They go to high lengths, lying, making up stories. Even in the courtroom with co-parenting. For my new people, please get my co-parenting power guide ebook. Oh my God, so powerful. It's going to help you fight in the spirit. It's going to help you fight battles when you co-parenting with a narcissist, y'all. If you need the book, direct message me, okay? I'll give you the link to the book. It is on sale. Just like in the courtroom custody battles, they go to high lengths to afflict you for no reason. So number one was they will make you think that you are off track when you're actually on track. That's why you have to ignore them. You have to ignore them. It's hard though, because like I said, it's not going to be a person or a neighbor. It's going to be somebody close. But you got to realize, no, I'm not going back. I'm not the same. I'm a new person. I'm a new vessel. No, you got to continue to say no. You got to continue to ignore that. Number two, they break you down so bad that you end up back with them. They didn't even want you in the first place. Why are you breaking me down? You left me for her or you left me for him. What are you doing? Why are you still breaking me? Move on. Oh my God, what is so delusional? It's somebody, right? She knew she had the controlling spirit. Yeah, I know that spirit all too well. What's so delusional is somebody leaving you or hurting you. They go on with their life. They go on to Costa Rica. Not really though, right? They go on and live their life. They get married. They have children, but they're still afflicting you. You left me. Move on. What are you doing? What are you doing, right? This is what people do. Number three, they create a smear campaign, humiliation ritual. That humiliation ritual is very hurtful, very heartbreaking, because it is not going to come from a group of people that you don't know. It's always from people who know you. Number four, they go to high lengths to afflict you. This is when they get frustrated. Once they start going to high lengths to afflict you, they get frustrated. In their minds, they're like, man, we can't break her down. We really can't break him down. Like, we don't even know what to do anymore. We don't know what to do anymore. We really can't do anything. I'm going to put this last point, you guys. Number five. Number five. I just said number 4, they go to high lengths to afflict you. Number 5. Yeah. They get deranged. They go to high lengths to afflict you. The last point. Because it's really them like breaking themselves down. It's really them breaking themselves down. And you know what person in the Bible I think of when an enemy or enemies do this? It's Judas. Judas. You know, it's Judas, you know. They start spiraling. They go to high lengths to afflict you. And then number 5, I'm trying to say a powerful point. They start spiraling, you know. They start breaking down. They start to break their own self down. Yeah. They start to break their own self down. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I think about Judas. When a person knows that they can, everything that they've done did not hurt you. Yeah, Jezebel, of course. Yeah, Jezebel. Yeah. This is all, the afflictions of your enemies, this is all comes from a Jezebelic spirit, Leviathan spirit, all of that. It comes from that. It comes from that. And like I said before, you guys, after I'm done with this live, I'm going to put the outline guide on my website for free. The same notes I put right here, I'm going to put it on my website. You can download it. It's going to be called The Afflictions of Your Enemies, okay? This is a new page, so I couldn't put my links at the top. You know how they have links. So just direct message me, say I need the co-parenting book or I need your website for the class today, okay? Number 5, they start to break their own self down. How do they do that? How do they do that? The reason why I say I think about Judas is because Judas was so hurt and he was so guilty. He did all of that and he sold, you know, Jesus. And he's like, why did I do that? You know? And he just went ham. Like he just like, I don't want to live anymore. He was very depressed. He didn't want to live anymore. He did something so heartbreaking, you know? They break their own selves down when they realize I can't do anything. When they realize, why did I do all of that? They get to a point when they ask themselves, why am I doing this? Right now, they're under this type of spell. I don't know what got them in the way of afflicting you so much. But when it ends, they're going to ask themselves, what happened? How did I end up like this? They start to break their own selves down. You know what else? How they start to break their own selves down? They start to be the victim because you have moved on. They start to be the victim because you are not budging. You're very unbothered right now, and they hate it. You know, the afflictions of your enemies. Once you get to a place where you are unbothered, they break their own selves down. They start, like I said, y'all, this is TikTok, so I don't know what rules they got updated. You know how they so sensitive. They start to drink orange juice all the time, every day. Oh, my God, they start to pick up some grass or whatever they do every day. It's something harder every day. They start to break because they feel like you got somebody walking around right now, somebody who hurt you, somebody who traumatized you, going around acting like the victim, going around acting like, oh, I'm so hurt. They just breaking their own selves down. They're trying to, because they continue to get revenge on you for moving on. They are getting revenge on you because you made it. The revenge that they're getting on you is because you made it. And you know what else? It's because you're not getting revenge. You don't have to get revenge. All you got to do is just live your life. You're not out here calling the courtroom like co-parenting. Get my co-parenting book, y'all. Look, y'all, you're not out here calling the courtroom at every single. You're not doing that. You're just living your life. And they get mad. So they're seeking revenge. I want revenge on him because he moved on too much. I want revenge on her because, look, I left her and she out here in Mexico somewhere with her girls. She out here on a yacht. So I'm getting revenge. That's how they feel. I'm getting revenge. Yeah, she out here doing a lot. You know, they getting revenge. So what they do, they go and wallow. They go in wallow land. And this is narcissistic people, y'all. They go on wallow land. They be like, I don't know what to do. They telling everybody that you done hurt them, that you're evil. You ain't do nothing but grow. Your growth is embarrassing them. That's why they start to break their own selves down, because your growth is embarrassing them. It's embarrassing them. It's embarrassing them. They're like, how dare you grow past what I did to you? I did a lot to you. How dare you just grow? How dare you do that? How dare you wake up and take care of your children and take care of your household? How dare you just go out on these coffee dates? I left you. Yeah, they're getting revenge on you because you don't care anymore. So they start to break their own selves down. You know, when you see them, you're going to be glowed up. You know, they're going to be in a pitiful pit. I listened to this lady on YouTube. She's so funny. She has narcissistic NPD classes, and she calls them backwards walking giraffes, because that's what the afflictions of your enemies. They look like backwards walking giraffes when they're doing this. They look crazy. They look crazy. And they think that afflicting you is going to give them strength. Maybe it worked on other people, but it wouldn't work on you, because why? You're chosen. You have the Most High on your side. You have God on your side. Right? So when they see a person, and when they have afflicted this person and they know it's not working, they break their own selves down. The afflictions of your enemies, y'all. One thing I need you to remind you, and I need you to remember, don't let them get you back. Don't let them get you back in a place where you feel rejected, you feel not seen, you feel worthless, you feel not beautiful, not handsome, you feel like you don't have it anymore. How you do it, you just do it. If they're afflicting you, so what? Live your life. I don't care what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. Live your life. And that's not easy to do, because you're like, how can I live my life? If I told you what I'm going through right now with my enemies, oh my God, you're going to be like, girl, how are you speaking to us right now? Like, you wouldn't know. But that's why I speak. That's why I write these ebooks. That's why I'm a big advocate, because I said, you know what? I want to teach people about this. I want to teach people. I'm not going to let the afflictions of my enemies tear me down. I was listening to somebody, a therapist online. I forgot her name, but she talks a lot about some things. And she said when people do things to you, and when you want to sue, somebody commented and said, I want to sue my parents, just for emotional abuse and stuff like that. But when you're doing that, it's as sad as it may sound, you're giving them power. You're giving them power. And I know some of you are looking at me like, man, I should sue for emotional damage, emotional stuff. I mean, sometimes you do have to, you do have to. If they owe you, go ahead. But sometimes the best revenge is success and moving on. The best revenge is being unbothered. I promise you, it's not easy. Sometimes you want to text a paragraph. Sometimes you want to pull up on somebody and say your piece. Sometimes you want to slap somebody. You want to go back to high school. You want to go back to Nuck If You Buck. Like, that's what you want to go back to. You want to pull up on somebody with Nuck If You Buck playing and go to them and give it to them. I know. But you know that's going to give them power. Yeah, they're going to be like, look, see, that's what they're going to be like with their arms folded. It kills them that you are moving on. It kills them. It drains them. They walking around right now acting like a victim. Your ex walking around right now acting like a victim. Your ex walking around telling people that, and that man just want his family back, and he know he ain't getting them back at all. Never again. Right? So you got people that are so sad and depressed because you're not sad and depressed. Let me say that one more time. You got people that's sad and depressed because you're not sad and depressed. That's it. And that is so sad. But these are the afflictions of your enemies. You cannot let them get to you. You have to depend on God. It's not going to be perfect. You have to depend on his favor. Talk to God about what you're going through. That is just so important to do. And when it gets to a point when it's too deep, it's like, God, what's going on, man? This is too much. It might be something to get the victory in. It might be something that you are about to get the glory in. You got to look at it that way. Because if you're still here, everything that they've done to you and you're still here, come on. You're somebody who's going to grow past this. They don't even know that they're making you strong. When your enemies afflict you, they don't even know that they're making you into a beast out here. Nothing scares you. And it's scary, right? The only thing that I'm scared about is something happening. You have to fight them spiritually. Yes. Yes. And tomorrow I'm going to get into deeper matters. Like I said, my main page, y'all, I taught that's the main star page. But right now I'm using this page. That's when I go deep into some deep stuff, because some people are not ready for conversations like this. They're not ready to hear that they're enemies. Not only do they go to high lengths of authority or police or courts, they go to something sinister. They go to something even sinister. Yeah. That's how you know they in some deep waters. That's how you know they are miserable. For you to go through all of that. And you know what I mean, you guys, because I want to hit on that tomorrow. And you know what? Now that I look at my past, I'm glad that I've been through that. I'm glad because I can teach. Anything that you've been through, I'm telling you, teach about it, speak about it, share your testimony about it. You know how you stop a generational curse? When you teach about something, when you coach about something, when you tell people, hey, this is what's going on with you. I've been through it. So you are the epitome of. So epitome means example. You are the example of people knowing God gotta be real. The afflictions of your enemies, they're going to have to realize, looking at you and the things that they've done to tear you up, and you're not torn up, it got to be somebody up there. Number 5, they start to break their own self down. So I need you to get to a point where you know for yourself that you are doing a great job. You are not perfect. Yes, you still have things that you need to do, but you are doing a great job out here. You're doing a great job. Ignore what they're doing. Ignore the accusations. I know it's hard to ignore. Ignore it. It is only to get you back to your broken place. So they're going to be doing this forever. You're welcome, Benjamin. You're welcome. Hi, Keith from Tennessee. You're welcome. Thank you for the input you put on my live. They're going to be doing this forever. Until one day they're just going to have to give up. God will force them to give up. Come on. He will. He will force them to give up. Do you know God will allow them? Yeah, sometimes he will allow them to do as much as they need to do, just so they can surrender to him one day. Remember, it says in the Bible in Exodus, when God hardens Pharaoh's heart, he hardened his heart. He did that. He hardened Pharaoh's heart. Why? So he can multiply his blessings. Sometimes when God hardens your enemy's heart, it's to protect you. It's to protect you. I know it don't make sense, but going through what I've been through, it is to protect you. They don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know that they are really blessing you by doing this. Blessed is the ones who is persecuted. Come on. They don't even know what they're doing. So the afflictions of your enemies, y'all, this is something I had to talk about because it was in my spirit, because I've been through it, still going through it. But God is good, right? Still good, still good. Yes, he will get the glory. And you have to say those things out loud, in your house or, whatever you're doing. You have to say those things out loud, say those things, right? So the afflictions of your enemies, you guys. Tomorrow I'm going to dive into, I wanted to read Nehemiah. I think it was Nehemiah 9:2. Tomorrow I'm going to dive into deeper matters of this. Deeper matters of betrayal. When it comes to, let me do this puzzle, you guys. When it comes to betrayal with your enemies, right? How do you get through it? So we're going to dive deep tomorrow on that, you guys. We really are. Betrayal with your enemies, right? How do you get through it? So we're going to dive deep tomorrow on that, you guys. We really are. We're going to dive deep tomorrow. So I want to read Nehemiah 2. I believe it was 19:20. Nehemiah 2. And I'm going to read the King. All right. So Nehemiah 2:19-20. I'm just going to read 2 verses. And it says, but when Sanballat the Horonite and Tobiah the servant, the Ammonite, and Geshem and Arabim heard it, they laughed us to scorn and despised us and said, what is this thing that you do? Will you rebel against the king? Right? Then answered I them and said to them, the God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore we his servants will arise and build. But you have no portion, nor right, nor memorial in Jerusalem. Now this is the King James Version. So what it's saying, your enemies have no power. So some people, when they ask, you want to rebel against the king? Why would you do that? When just like in Esther, one of my favorite stories, just like in Esther, remember Mordecai didn't bow down to Haman, right? Haman afflicted him so bad, he ended up in his own gallows just because he was that prideful, because he wanted somebody to bow down to him. But Mordecai, even when Mordecai was a Jew, even when he didn't have a lot, he knew who he was. Come on. Some of your enemies just don't like you because you don't bow down to them. So you have to be like Nehemiah in 20 and say, look, God is going to build. Look, we're going to build this thing and God is going to arise. You have no power over me. Your words have no power. Your afflictions have no power. Say that out loud. Say it out loud, even 5 times a day. My enemies have no power over me. The afflictions of them have no power over me, because I will arise. I want you guys to comment before I leave and say, I will arise. Just affirm it today. Say, I will arise. 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 I just want you to comment that. And I'm so glad that God chose me to speak, because I really lived through this, and some people up here, they just want to speak because it's a trend. And when you know my story, because my story will be posted, my full story, oh my God, you're going to be like, wow. So I'm glad that I really been through the trenches. You really been through the trenches. You're not somebody. I said this word, I think a month ago, when I said you don't have that lingo. You know how people say, well, if they go for a job, they be like, well, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's not in your lingo. No, you know what you know because you've been through it. God chose the perfect person for your enemies to afflict you, because he knew that you were going to be able to get through it. He knew the perfect person to choose. You've been through the trenches. Come on. Your enemies who's afflicting you, they haven't even been through these trenches. If they've been through what you've been through, they wouldn't be able to handle it. They wouldn't be able to get through it. No, they will not. If the things that they're taking you through, oh my God, they wouldn't be able to get through how you getting through this. No, they won't. You got to look at that. You got to be like, these peasants, clowns who are afflicting me, They don't even have they don't even have the muscles to get through what you get through. They don't. They're kind of slow, right? You guys, don't let the afflictions of your enemies make you feel like you are not worthy, because you are that much worthy. You are even more worthy. They don't even know that they are upping your worth. They are promoting you by doing this. Every single time they afflict you, they promote you. I will arise. Thank you, blessings. They promote you. So I am going to put this on my outline guide on my website so you can download it. Direct message me if you need my website. But my YouTube is my same name, Qualita Branch. That's my YouTube. So you'll see my community post, my website, or anything like that, you guys. I'm going to put this outline guide up there just so you can have it for yourself, okay? I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Take your power back. Look in the mirror and say, I am lovely. I am beautifully made. Handle self-care. Handle your self-care. Work. Do what you have to do. Don't make the afflictions of your enemies your identity. Whatever they're doing to you, it is not who you are. It doesn't have anything to do with you. I know it's happening to you, but it don't have nothing to do with you, right? It don't. It has everything to do with them. You're just there to just witness the downfall of the enemies. That's all you're there for. So God is good, you guys. God is in control. If this message bless you, you guys, if it bless you, or, if it helped you in any way, I always do this in any way. You want to send love, you can. You don't have to. You don't have to send some love my way. The CA is LadyQInspires. The CA is LadyQInspires. You don't have to. What I really need you to do is visit my website, because I have some free things that are going to be up there. I'm just remodeling my website. I do virtual dance classes as well, and I also sell jewelry. So you'll see a lot of my jewelry posts that I'm posting on my page. So you'll see that. And like I said, my co-parenting power guide, man, that book is so powerful for my people who are co-parenting with a narcissist. Just view some of my messages. I'll put my messages up here, you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. All right. CA, money sign, LadyQInspires. Send some love my way. If not, I love you. You don't have to. So I pray over this live. I pray for these people that were watching today, Father God, and I pray that you would encamp us with power, purity, and productivity. I pray against any spirit of retaliation that heard this word. We rebuke any enemy or any enemies, and we shut the mouths of the lions, Lord. In Jesus' name, give us power. In the name of Jesus, give us joy. Joy shall be our portion. Power shall be our portion. My enemies have no power over me. Their enemies have no power over them. God, you are totally in control. We thank you on today. In Jesus' name, amen. 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 Yes, Jesus. Yes. Jesus. I know it's a lot of TikTok prophets up here, you guys. I'm glad God chose me to really speak. I started speaking in my car when I was homeless. I was going through a little bit of homelessness, pregnant, taking care of another baby. And I didn't know what I was talking about. I just was like, I'm going to speak. Nobody told me what to say. I just started, but I was going through a really bad situation, really traumatic. And that's how I started. So I'm glad I started in the trenches. OK, so when you go to my main page, go all the way down, you're going to see me in the trenches. You're going to see when I just had the baby. I have a testimony. And a lot of people, you got to be careful who you listen to on this TikTok, because a lot of them are just speaking for a trend or speaking for money. They haven't been through anything. Right. They have not been through no rock bottom. So you got to be careful. Ask questions. It was times where I had people that I asked questions to, and I thought that they were leaders, and I thought that they were very powerful because of how they sounded. But when I told them about myself and what I was going through, they couldn't help me. But you speaking and you're doing all this, but you can't help me. So I'm glad that God chose me to go through all of that, because I really lived through it. Right. See, you really lived through it. You know what to do with it. You know how to give advice. You're not just out here trying to just give advice because it sounds good. You're out here doing it for real. So God is good, you guys. I'm gone. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time zone. All right, you guys. I love you guys. My email is LadyQInspires2@gmail.com. LadyQInspires2@gmail.com. That's for venting. If you need to vent, if you need prayer requests, LadyQInspires2@gmail.com. If you need my website to the co-parenting book or my website in general to get this outline of the class today, let me know. Love you guys. It's never bye. It's see you later.